A very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Civics second year class. So yesterday we have started with VSAQs from all the chapters. Today we will discuss VSAQs from your 9th chapter. Okay, so this is the most important chapter. It has got weightage of 26 marks. Okay, this one chapter. Okay, this one chapter, its weightage is 26 marks. So here you will get one LAQ, then 2 SAQs and 3 VSAQs. Okay, 26 marks. If you are thorough with this chapter, if you are learning all the questions of this chapter, you can attempt your paper for 26 marks. Focus more on this chapter because it has got lot of weightage and questions are very simple. Okay, so LAQs, if we say, the important LAQs are what are the factors which led for Telangana agitation, then role of JACs, Joint Action Committees, and Telangana as 29th state of Indian Union. That was asked in your previous paper. In March, this question was asked. Okay, then coming to SAQs, you have Gentleman's Agreement, most important questions. Then you have AP Reorganization Act, significance of 2nd June, and Telangana Agitation 1969. If you are learning this 4 SAQs, you will get 2 out of this 4. Gentleman Agreement is like short question, so don't leave that question. It is a very simple and easy question. And coming to VSAQs, we will discuss VSAQs now. Out of these VSAQs, you will get 3 VSAQs. So let us start with the first question, Hyderabad state. What do you mean by Hyderabad state? See, Hyderabad, it was ruled by Nizam. The state of Hyderabad, it was ruled by Nizam and it became the part of Indian Union in 1948. Okay, in 1947, after independence. If you remember Independence Act of 1947, in that act, there was a provision given to the princely states. They had an option to join India or Pakistan or to remain independent. But Nizam of Hyderabad, geographically it was not possible to join Pakistan and it decided not to join India also. It remained independent. Hyderabad state, that is Nizam state, we say, it remained independent. In 1948, after police action, it became the part of Indian Union. Hyderabad became the part of Indian Union and it was called as Hyderabad state. Okay, now if you see this Hyderabad state, it had people speaking 3 languages. Okay, the complete Hyderabad state, it consisted of people speaking 3 languages. So what are the 3 languages? Telugu, Kannada and Marathi. Okay, Kannada, Telugu and Marathi, these were the languages spoken by the people of this region, that is Hyderabad state. Then after it became the part of Indian Union in 1948, the Congress party was the party which formed the government in the state. Okay, Congress party, it formed the first government in Hyderabad state. And if you talk about the position of Hyderabad state financially, it had surplus revenue. Hyderabad state had surplus revenue. It was well developed by the Nizam and it had efficient administration. Hyderabad state was well developed with surplus revenue. These 4 points, if you are writing, you will get 2 marks. Okay, so this is you are writing Hyderabad state around 1948 when it was formed, when it became the part of Indian Union. That you have to write. What many students they do, the moment they see this word Hyderabad state, they'll write Hyderabad is the capital of Telangana. It is a common capital. No, when a question is asked as Hyderabad state, that means they are talking about or they are asking about Nizam state after it became the part of Indian Union in 1948. Okay, remember this. You have one more question as Hyderabad as common capital. Don't get confused. Okay. Next is Mulki rule. Hyderabad state, I hope I am clear with it. Mulki rule. Okay, this is the most repeated question, important question. Okay, so Mulki means local. The word Mulki, it means local. So it is one, this Mulki rules is one of the safeguards or, security given to the Telangana people in the gentleman's agreement. We know that after the gentleman's agreement was signed between Telangana and Andhra regions, Andhra Pradesh was formed. So in gentleman's agreement, Mulki rule was a safeguard given to the people of Telangana. So what does it mean? Okay, according to Mulki rule, 15 years continuous stay in Telangana will become the qualification for admission into educational institutions and employment in Telangana. It means the people who are coming from Andhra region, they have to stay in Hyderabad or Telangana region for 15 years continuously. Okay. Then only they'll get qualified to take admissions into educational institutions and they'll get employment opportunities. Okay, that was the Mulki rule. And according to this, 80%, according to the Mulki rule, 80% of the region, so that Telangana region is not neglected. Okay, injustice is not done to the people of Telangana. Not followed after the formation of Andhra Pradesh in 1956. So, after signing gentleman's agreement in 1956, 1st November 1956, Andhra Pradesh was formed, but this Mulki rule was not followed. Okay, Mulki rule was not followed. I hope I am clear with the Mulki rule. Next is, see, Hyderabad as common capital. Okay, this is in 2014. Okay, Hyderabad state, that is in 1948. Hyderabad as common capital, this is in 2014. In AP Reorganization Act, see, after the Telangana agitation, when Parliament passed this, AP Reorganization Act, in that it has given certain provisions. What is that? The AP Reorganization to form Telangana and Andhra. Now, Andhra Pradesh was divided into two states, Andhra and Telangana. And it made this, according to this act, Hyderabad was made as a common capital for both the states. Okay, and it will remain common capital for a period not exceeding 10 years. After 10 years, it will be the capital of Telangana and Andhra. Within this 10 years, Andhra Pradesh or Andhra should develop its capital city. That is Hyderabad as common capital. Okay, next is Sakala Janula Samme. Again a repeated question. This is asked repeatedly. Sakala Janula Samme. So, Sakala Janula Samme, the meaning of this word is all people's strike. Okay, all people's strike. So, Sakala Janula Samme, it was an important part of Telangana movement for separate statehood of Telangana. So, in this movement, during this protest movement, people from all the sections of society, they participated. They went on strike. Okay, they went on strike to support statehood for Telangana. So, all the sections of people participated in this strike. That is what I said. Sakala Janula Samme means all people's strike. People from all the sections of the society, they participated in the strike to support statehood for Telangana. So, when they were on strike, so they boycotted. They boycotted government work, courts, schools, colleges during this movement. Okay, and other than this, rail roko, rasta roko were also organized all over the region, all over the Telangana region. So, all the government officers, the employees of government offices, the lawyers in the courts, schools and colleges were closed, okay, to support the Telangana state, or protest for Telangana state. Okay, so simple question, important question, Sakala Janula Samme. Okay, simple words I told you, it is all people's strike. That means people from all the sections of the society, they participated in the strike to support Telangana movement. Okay, I hope I am clear with this question. Sakala Janula Samme, important question. Mulki rule, repeated questions. Okay. Next is Million March, another repeated question. This is also a repeated question. Million March. Million March was one of the important protest movements organized during our separate Telangana movement. Okay, it is a part of Telangana movement. So, it was organized by Telangana JAC in Hyderabad. So, this Telangana the Million March, this protest movement was organized by Telangana JAC. What is JAC? Joint Action Committee. Joint Action Committee. The Joint Action Committee, Telangana Joint Action Committee, it organized this Million March. That is 1 million people, they assembled at Tangband. Okay, and it was organized on 10th March 2011. 10th March 2011, Million March was organized, and the protesters, the participants of this Million March program, they raised slogan of Jai Telangana. Okay, protesters, they raised Jai Telangana slogan, and the protesters included lawyers, students, government employees, writers, okay, people from different walk of life, okay, different sections of the society, they participated in this movement. That is Million March. 1 million people, they assembled at Tangband. Okay, so another repeated question. Million March is a repeated question. Next is Sri Krishna Committee Report 2010. Sri Krishna Committee Report 2010. So here, when the conditions of Telangana, that is Hyderabad state, or you can say Andhra Pradesh, was out of control, the protest for separate Telangana was at its peak. Okay, KCR, he went on fast unto death. Then the government of India appointed Sri Krishna Committee to look into the issue of Telangana. This committee was appointed in February 2010. In February 2010, Government of India appointed Sri Krishna Committee to look into the issue of Telangana. Okay. Committee submitted its report in December 2010. Okay. The committee, it submitted its report in December 2010 and it with 6 solutions to the issue. It suggested 6 solutions to the issue of Telangana. Okay. One of them was, it suggested to make Hyderabad as union territory. Okay. One such suggestion out of those 6, one suggestion was to make Hyderabad as the union territory. Okay. Or separating Andhra Pradesh and forming 2 states, that is Telangana and Seema-Andhra. Seema-Andhra is your, merging Rayalaseema region with Andhra. We can have 2 states, Telangana and Seema-Andhra. That is your Sri Krishna Committee report. Okay. Very simple questions, ma. Your 9th chapter is very simple. Okay. If you are thorough with, LAQs and SAQs, you can easily write VSAQs. And I repeat, this is the most important chapter. If you are thorough with your 9th chapter, you will be able to attempt paper for your 26 marks. Okay. Next is your 10th chapter, Smart Governance. Your 10th chapter is Smart Governance. In this, you will get 1 VSAQ. Okay. So let us see the important questions. List out the stakeholders in the governance. List out the stakeholders in the governance. So before learning this answer, I need to tell you meanings of 2 words. One is governance. What do you mean by governance? Okay, what do you mean by governance? And second is stakeholders. If you know the meaning of these 2 words, you can easily remember the answer. So what do you mean by governance? Act of governing. Governance is act of governing and stakeholders are the participants. Stakeholders are the participants. So who participate in governing? The question is, list out the stakeholders in governance. So who are participating in governing? Who are the participants in governing? We can say, okay, to understand who are the participants in governing. So we know government means it will have 3 organs: legislature, executive, judiciary. These 3 organs, they are the part of government. Then media, press, print and electronic media. It is through media we come to know about the policies of the government, what government is doing for us. Okay, and it is the media which takes the problem of the people to the government. They question the government on behalf of the people. So we have media as the stakeholder. Then we have political parties. Then we have civil society people, private sectors, okay, private organizations, and social organizations who work for upliftment of the society. All these are the stakeholders of governments or stakeholders in governments, or they are the participants in governing. They are the participants in government. Okay, simple. You can write few of this. If you can't remember all 8, not an issue. At least 5, 6 you can write. Okay, we know legislature, executive, judiciary, media, political parties, civil society, even these 6 are also enough. And again, an important question, repeated question, what is accountability? What do you mean by accountability? Being accountable means being answerable. So, accountability means answerability. Okay, accountability means answerability. So, here, whatever the government employees are doing, whatever government employees means right from the prime minister to a peon in the office, every person, an executive. So, government employees are answerable to the people for their decisions and actions. Okay, government accountability means government employees, they are accountable or answerable to the people for their decisions and actions. Okay, and the government activities can be questioned by the people, representatives in the parliament or in the state legislature. They question the activities of the government. The government is answerable to the people. So, what is happening with this accountability? Okay, there is transparency. Accountability is related to transparency, that everything is in front of the people. The transparency, it promotes accountability. Transparency promotes accountability. Okay, I hope I am clear with this question. Next is, what is government to citizen model? So, smart governance, it functions on certain models like G2G model. What is G2G model? Government to government. Then we have G2C model. What is G2C model? It is government to citizen. It is government to citizen. Okay. So, it is one of the models of e-governance. Okay, here the government deals with the citizens. Here the government is directly dealing with the citizens. See, I told you we have different models. G2G, that is government to government. G2C, government to citizen. G2B, government to business. We have different models of e-governance. In this G2C model, where government is dealing with the citizens. How it is dealing? By providing various services to the people. In government to citizens model, that is G2C model, government provides various services to the people and it is benefiting the people. So, this model benefits the people. It is beneficial to the people. Okay. Next is Lok Ayukt. Now, the institution of Lok Ayukt. What does the Lok Ayukt do? First thing, before going into detail, what does the Lok Ayukt do? Now, it will investigate the allegations on the public servants or the legislators at the state level. See, we have two questions here. Lok Pal. It is for, it inquire or investigates the charges charges of corruption at union level. Sorry. Corruption at union level. Lokpal, it will investigate the charges of corruption at union level. That is your Prime Minister, a Council of Ministers, members of Parliament, or the central government employees. If there are charges of corruption against them, that inquiry is done by the Lokpal. And Lok Ayukt, it investigates the charges of corruption at state level. At state level. Okay. So this Lok Ayuk, it was first established in 1971 in Maharashtra. Okay, first time in Maharashtra in 1977, Lok Ayuk was established. And the first Lok Ayuk of Telangana, our state, was formed on 20th December 2019. Okay, on 20th December 2019, Lok Ayuk was formed for Telangana. So, Justice C.V. Ramlu is the present Lok Ayuk. He will look into the charges of corruptions against public servants, that is state government employees, members of legislatures and other ministers. After investigation, it will submit the report to the competent authority, hired authority. And this Lok Ayuk is appointed by the governor. Lokpal is appointed by the president. Lok Ayukt is appointed by the governor. And the term of Lok Ayukt is 5 years. Okay, the term of office is 5 years. Okay, I hope I am clear with this. Now, explain transparency in few words. Okay, explain transparency in few words. So, it is a part of good governance. Transparency is a part of e-governance, good governance. Everything should be, clear. Nothing should be hidden from the people, because the information ultimately belongs to the people. So, it means, what is transparency? It means providing proper information to the people regarding the activities of the government. If there is transparency, then we can question the government, right? So, transparency, it improves efficiency. It's not only that we can question, we can suggest for the reforms also. And it also reduces corruption. So, everything is before people, it is in front of the people, then it will definitely reduce the corruption. Okay. Your next question, again an important one, repeatedly asked. In which year RTI was enacted? What is RTI? RTI means Right to Information Act. When was it enacted and enforced? It was enacted in June 2005. Okay, this act was passed in June 2005 and it was enforced in October 2005. It came into force. Enforce means it came into force from October 2005. Okay. Simple question. 2 marks. With this, we have completed your 10th chapter, Smart Governance BSAQs. Very simple questions. 6 questions. Okay, now let us move to the next chapter, your last chapter, 11th chapter, India and the world. The 11th chapter is India and the world. So, the first question here is, how many countries took membership in UN General Assembly? How many countries? Simple, just understand. How many countries are there in the United Nations General Assembly? Now, what is General Assembly? Okay, now this General Assembly, it is the legislative organ of UNO. It is the legislature of UNO. Okay, and at present, it has 193 member states. So, 193 countries are the members of UN General Assembly, and there were 50 members when the organization was started in 1945. When League of Nations couldn't stop, Second World War. During the Second World War, United Nations organization was formed. That is in 1945. That time there were 50 members in UN General Assembly. Now it has got 193 member states. Okay. Next, organs of UNO. List out the main organs of UNO. Okay, so the United Nations organization, it was established in 1945. It was established in 1945. That time it had 6 organs. It had 6 organs. That is General Assembly. It is like the legislature. Okay. Then Security Council, Economic and Social Council, and Trusteeship Council. These are like executives. It is the these are the executive organs. Okay. And International Court of Justice, it is the judiciary. Okay, so these are the, then you have Secretariat, it is the administrative organ. It is the administrative organ of UN. You need not explain this like this. Just write the names. General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice, and Secretariat. These are the 6 organs of UNO. Out of those 6, Trusteeship Council is not functioning. Trusteeship Council is not functioning now. So, we have 5 organs to UNO. We have 5 organs of UNO. But you should mention all 6, then you should write that Trusteeship Council is not functioning now. Very easy, very simple question. Next, who is the present Secretary General of UNO? Now, the Secretary General, he is the head of administrative organ of UNO, that is Secretariat. Okay, Secretariat is headed by Secretary General. Secretariat is headed by Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Remember the name, only that name. Antonio Guterres, he is the present Secretary General of United Nations Organization. Antonio Guterres is the present Secretary General of UNO. Remember this name, Antonio Guterres. That's it. Your answer is over there. If you can remember the name and write the name, like one sentence, Antonio Guterres is the present Secretary General of UNO, you will get 2 marks. Next is, what is Panchsheel? What is Panchsheel? Panchsheel is one of the features of India's foreign policy. It has 5 principles. Panchsheel means 5 principles. So, what are the 5 principles? Mutual respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty of the state. Each and every state should respect the territorial integrity and the independence, that is sovereignty of the other states. No state should try to, invade or capture any part of the other state, or no state should try to conquer any other state. So, mutual respect and territorial integrity and sovereignty of the state, the first principle of Panchsheel. Then second is non-aggression. Okay, we should not indulge in violence. We should not become aggressive. We should try to resolve the conflict or dispute peacefully. That is non-aggression. Then non-interference in the internal affairs of the other state. No state should interfere in the internal matters of the other states. That is the third principle. Then equality and mutual benefits. Equality and mutual benefit. No country should feel that it is superior and other state is inferior to it. No. There should be equality and mutual benefit, and all the states, they should coexist peacefully. So, peaceful coexistence is the principle of Panchsheel, one of the principles of Panchsheel. 5 principles. Okay, with this we have completed your BSQs of all the chapters, all the important questions. Okay, I have covered it here. Now we will start with your short answers. Okay, now from short answers, if you see, again chapter wise, your first chapter has got 3 questions. What are the causes for the birth of Indian national movement? Then you have programs adapted during non-cooperation movement, and you have Independence Act of 1947. Out of these 3 questions, mostly it is causes of birth of Indian national movement asked, or the non-cooperation movement. Very rarely this Independence Act of 1947 is asked. But these 3 are important. You should be thorough with these questions. So, let us start with Indian causes for the birth of Indian national movement. Why Indian national movement started? What are the reasons for it? Causes means reasons. So, we know that Britishers, they ruled India for more than 100 years. But the Indian national movement, it took place. It started in 1857 with revolt of 1857, where the Indian rulers and the Indian Sipahis, they revolted against the Britishers for the first time in 1857. So, Indian national movement started in 1857 and ended in 1947 with independence. When India became an independent state, the Indian national movement also came to an end. So, why this movement started? Why the Indian rulers or the Sipahis, they revolted? What are the reasons? Let us see one by one. The first one is British rule. If you talk about the British rule, it had both positive and negative aspects, impact we can say. It had both positive and negative impact. How can we say it was positive? Because Britishers, they introduced science and technology, railways, post and telegraph, etc. in our country. That means Britishers, they were developing the infrastructure in India. Okay. But at the same time, they were collecting huge taxes from Indians. And that money collected in the form of tax, it was not used for the development of India. It was used for the development of England. There was drain of wealth from India to England. Okay. So this made Indians start freedom struggle against Britishers. Okay, as there was drain of wealth, the Britishers, they were collecting taxes from us. Instead of developing India, They were using the tax money for the development of England. For the development of England. This resulted in freedom struggle. First point. I hope I am clear with the first point. Just try to understand what is the side heading. So next is Great Revolt, that is Revolt of 1857. They revolted against the Britishers for the first time in 1857. Why did they revolt? Because of the discriminative policies of the Britishers. Okay, Britishers were discriminating among the rulers and the Sipais. Indian Sipais and British Sipais, they were discriminated. So this created anger among Indian Sipais. Similarly, rulers were also discriminated. Because of this discrimination done by the Britishers, Indian Sipais and the Indian rulers, they revolted against the Britishers. Though we did not achieve anything, it was not successful. Okay, but it created a strong feeling of patriotism. It instilled a confidence that we can fight with the Britishers. We gained confidence. Indian rulers, they gained confidence that we can fight against the Britishers. Okay, we can go against Britishers. So it created a feeling of patriotism among the Indians to oppose Britishers. Okay, that was your Great Revolt of 1857. Next is English education. Okay, English education. So now Britishers, they started English medium schools and colleges in India. English education was started in India. So the Indians who went to this English medium schools and colleges, they came to know about modern political concepts like liberty, equality, democracy, etc. Different, when they studied in English medium schools and colleges, they came to know about these political concepts like liberty. Liberty means freedom. They realized that in India we don't have freedom. Then equality, there is discrimination. In India there is no equality, there is no democracy. So they started Indian national movement for self-rule and freedom. For self-rule and freedom, Indian national movement was started. Okay, so English education is another cause or reason for the birth of Indian national movement. Next is press. Press means newspapers. Okay, during that time we did not have electronic media. We had only print media, that too newspapers. Many newspapers like Hindu, Kesari, okay, Amrit Bazar Patrika were started by great leaders. Now these great leaders like Motilal Nehru, they started newspapers in local languages. These newspapers were published in local languages, and through the newspapers, these leaders, they could spread the feeling of nationalism, that is nationalist feelings among the Indians. In newspapers, they used to publish the exploitative policies of the Britishers, what Britishers are doing. They used to publish in the local languages. So the press, the newspaper played an important role in spreading the nationalist feelings. Okay, next is economic exploitation. Okay, so Indians were economically, exploited. What happened? The Britishers, they used to take raw materials from India and they used to transfer these raw materials to England. With that raw material, they used to make goods, and those British goods were sold in India. So our small scale industries could not compete with the machine made goods. Okay, so this resulted in large scale of unemployment and poverty. So the artisans who used to make various goods, they joined Indian national movement against the Britishers. So, economic exploitation. There was economic exploitation. That is the reason for Indian national movement. In exam, they'll ask you to write any 4 causes. Okay. Any 4 if you are writing, you can get 5 marks. Now, next question. Again, a very simple and interesting question. What are the various programs adapted during non-cooperation movement? So, what do you mean by non-cooperation? Non-cooperation means we are not going to cooperate. So, why this movement was started and who started this movement? Non-cooperation movement, it was started by Gandhiji. Non-cooperation movement was started by Gandhiji in 1920. In 1920. Why this movement was started? As a protest against Jallianwala Bagh incident, where many innocent people were killed in an open fire. Okay, so due to that violent incident, Gandhiji, he said that now we will not cooperate with the Britishers. Okay, and this movement ended in 1922. So this non-cooperation movement had 2 types of programs. Non-cooperation movement had 2 types of programs. One is positive program and the other is negative. Positive, which was beneficial to India. Okay, which benefited Indians, that is use of Swadeshi goods. Okay, they encouraged use of Swadeshi goods. Collecting 1 crore rupees fund for implementing activities of non-cooperation. To implement the activities of non-cooperation, they needed money. So, from where did they get the money? They collected from the people and they could collect 1 crore rupees. Okay, and they distributed 20 lakh charkhas to unemployed Indians. So, they got some employment or work to do. Okay, 1 crore rupees were collected, 20 lakh charkhas were distributed to unemployed Indians, and they encouraged our own educational plans, and they replaced British legislative bodies with Congress legislative bodies. Okay, these were the positive programs during non-cooperation movement. Now coming to negative programs. What are the negative programs? See, we encouraged use of Swadeshi goods, so we boycotted foreign goods. Foreign goods were boycotted. Then British courts were boycotted. Okay. Then we also boycotted the elections to the local bodies. Then the Indians who were the members of the local bodies, they resigned from the membership of local bodies. And we also boycotted the meetings which were sponsored or conducted by the government. Government meetings were also boycotted. So this was the negative program. Okay. So Gandhiji, he stopped this movement in 1922. Why did he stop this movement? Because of an incident, violence in Chauri Chaura village of Uttar Pradesh. In Uttar Pradesh, there is a district called Gorakhpur. In that district, you have a small village called Chauri Chaura. In that village, a violent incident occurred. Okay, the mob, the people, they have burned some policemen alive. So, because of the violence, Gandhiji stopped this movement. Okay, because Gandhiji, he believed in non-violence, and the non-cooperation movement, it was started against a violent incident, Jallianwala Bagh incident. So, Gandhiji, he stopped this movement in 1922. Okay. Then the next question from this chapter is, main provisions of Independence Act of 1947. See, in 1947 we got independence. So for that, before giving the independence, Britishers, they made an act. That act was called as Independence of India Act 1947. Independence of India Act 1947. It was the last act made by the British government for India. Okay, British government, it made the Independence of India Act 1947, and this was the last act. After that, India became independent, and this act was prepared by Lord Mountbatten. He was the Governor General of India. Lord Mountbatten, he was the Governor General, and Clement Attlee, he was the Prime Minister of England. Okay, he was the Prime Minister of England. So, because of the efforts of Lord Mountbatten and Clement Attlee, Independence Act of India was passed in British Parliament in 1947. In July 1947, this act was passed in the British Parliament. So, what are the main provisions? Okay, the act says that India and Pakistan shall constituted as two separate independent states. Okay, India will be partitioned and two separate states, that is India and Pakistan, shall be formed. Then, as two independent states are formed, two constituent assemblies will be formed to prepare a new constitution for each country. So, one constituent assembly for India and one for Pakistan. Then this act says that British supremacy over India and princely states shall cease to exist. Now Britishers will have no control over any part of the India. Okay, be it British India or a princely state. And these princely states like Gwalior, Kashmir, Mysore, Hyderabad, these were the princely states. They were free to join India or Pakistan or remain independent. That's why Nizam of Hyderabad, he wanted to remain independent. And territories of two dominance, that is territory of both the states, were defined. Territory of both the states were defined. This was your Independence Act of 1947. Okay, so first chapter, we have discussed 3 SAQs. We will get one question for sure. It is, causes for the birth of Indian national movement, non-cooperation movement, and Independence Act of 1947. If you are thorough with these 3 questions, you can easily write one SAQ. Okay, sure, you will get one from these 3 only. Okay, so with this, I conclude my session today. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much.